Hey, in anticipation of my new album Clay out August 20th, I wanted to just take some time to talk about how I made my new single, which is also called Clay, and it's available for streaming now. Clay was actually the title of the album before the single was even an idea that I had had. My last two releases, Ink and Lead, started off this new era of music for me that was a little bit more conventionally singer-songwriter focused than what I was making before. And the songs that were going to become the new album definitely had that same feeling to them. I look at these three pieces as kind of companions to each other in a way. As I was recording the new album, I started feeling the urge to write a few more songs, really make my work a little harder, which I love to do, and add these new elements into the mix. I felt like I wanted to incorporate something a little bit more stripped back, something a little less fussed over, and something that would add some breadth and space into the album, which I was listening through and just really feeling the urge to kind of introduce more space. That's something I kept coming back to. I've been listening to a ton of Angel Olsen lately, thanks to Cecilia for finally forcing me to do a deep dive into her back catalog. The original demo for this song is definitely indebted to Angel. The driving guitar contrasted with the really stripped back instrumentation is definitely a page out of her book. And I always had this thick, sludgy guitar underneath the choruses just to give some thickness, and I love how chunky it sounds. Especially since there's no bass guitar in this track, I think it's really necessary to give a little bit more fullness to the sound. The original version of this song didn't have the instrumental breakdown or the drums or anything but vocal and guitar, really. But all of these added elements have become my most cherished parts of this track. The drums especially are a combination of a drum machine and these really earthy kind of recorded in the room textures, which I think give the song so much more space. The breakdown here is just so nasty and fun. My friend Randolph told me before I added that in that he wanted to hear me just cut loose in this song, and I definitely think he was right that that is what the song was asking for. It needed that moment of release, that catharsis. We also have this mellotron part that comes in midway through the second verse and just adds a little bit more brightness and an ethereal texture to the track that I think it was really missing. We have the kind of crunchy, gritty, grungy low end, but I wanted something a little bit brighter. It needed that kind of balance on the other side. I don't usually work with sounds that kind of flaunt their syntheticness, but I really liked the way that this sounded when I added it in. It kind of wrinkles the time and place of the song, which otherwise kind of has a 90s vibe. This kind of adds something older and newer at the same time, and kind of complicates the depth and the dynamics of the track. Lyrically, I think the song really earns its spot as the centerpiece to the album. It happens right smack dab in the middle of the track listing, and over the course of its short runtime, it kind of touches on almost every other important theme of the album. It touches on relationships to nature, sexuality, gender, identity, politics, ego, pride, self-preservation. I feel like it has so much personality, and that was what I really wanted to come across in the vocal delivery most, was that sense of personality and place and time.
The world is that your blood is as blue as the rivers. Paint your irises wide and hide nothing.
Thank you so much for listening to Clay. I hope that you've been enjoying it, and that you've enjoyed this kind of behind the scenes peek at my process. Make sure you pre-order my new album at aprepompeii.net and look for it streaming everywhere on August 20th. Thanks.